Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 15 minutes together. 15. We started 15 minutes later. Sorry, I got 15 on the brain. Well, we're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together with a full face makeup tutorial and also memorizing a Bible verse. My name is Wendy, and it is going to be a good time today. I'm looking forward to playing with that Juvia's Place Afro Galactic palette with you today. So, remember that while we are live, you can ask any question about makeup application or about the verse while we're live, and I will do my best to get that question asked and answered while we are on here together. So, our theme for today, our easy makeup theme for today is going to be, can Shimmery retro eyes make me look younger at 40 plus? So at this point, I have to do that. I didn't realize I still had those on. Woo! Okay, so back to our question. Oh gosh, now I can't see anything. Can Shimmery eyes really help me to look younger at 40 plus? So we're going to play with that Afro Galactic palette and see where that takes us. Okay, so go ahead and grab your lashes, grab your palette, grab your brushes, and then get on back here and let's get playing.
A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. First days at 8, can't wait.
All right. Our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And all of the verses that we're going to be learning about are going to be over this next third season are going to all be coming from Telling James. So this is going to be a journey through the book of James. And oh, I see that's what's going on with our song. How about that there? Can you hear me better? All right. So, Telling Me James, all of our verses are going to be coming through here as we work through the book of James. So that's available in 3 different formats. We've got ebook, which is a PDF file. We've got the paperback version, which is coming from Amazon, and the spiral bound version, which comes directly from my website, a little bit of makeup, and a whole lot of Jesus.com. So let us see. We last week worked on this verse here, and I don't feel like I gave it due diligence. So travel along with me as we take a look at this verse again. So I actually didn't even get the video made for this yet. So we're going to listen to the song while we're looking at this page right. This is a song, hand in glove, that goes with James 2, verse 18.
You roll your eyes, cut with your tongue, then lift your hands when the song's begun. Sing hallelujah, dressed in your Sunday best, but mercy stayed home and kindness took a rest. Faith and works, works and faith fit together hand in glove. I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, you take care of the faith department, I'll handle the works department. Not so fast, you can no more show me your works apart from your faith. Then I can show you my faith apart from my works. Faith and works, works and faith fit together hand in glove. You pass her by.
All right. I'll let you listen to the rest of that. That is available on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you stream your music from, you'll be able to find it there. That again is by Sailor Soul, and that is called Hand in Hand. Now, let me get back to this over here. We're going to get that turned on potentially. Maybe. There we go. We're going to give it a little bit. There we go. All right. So, all of our products that we're going to be using today, I mentioned the Afro Galactic palette, which is not the palette that's in that picture. Afro Galactic palette is a beautiful palette from Juvia's Place. I got it right here. And we are going to be playing with this gorgeous, mostly shimmer, but it does have some mattes in it today. So kind of a retro look is what we're going to be doing today. When I originally saw these color combined together, she had done this oil slick look thing that's popular right now. I cannot stand gooey on my eyelids, so I'm not going to be bringing it to you in the gooey way, but I am going to bring it to you in the shimmery way. And so if you're one of those that like that, then you could use the same color sequence and you knock yourself out with slick eyes. It's just not my thing. So, and I just realized that while we listened to that song together, we did not say it together. So I'm going to go back just 1 second. And we're going to look at this verse, and we're actually going to read it together this morning. And then we're going to jump in with our makeup. So I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, you take care, by saying, sounds good. You take care of the faith department, and I'll take care of the works department. Let's see, not so fast. You can no more show me your works apart from your faith than I can show you my faith apart from my works. Faith and works, works and faith go together hand in glove. And that's James 2, verse 18. Okay, now we're just gonna jump on down to here. We've got that verse scrolling across the bottom of our screen. So let me get the chat going so that I can see any questions that you have. Again, just asking in whatever platform you're on, and it should come through to me. So let's take a look. We are going to start out by priming our face so that everything stays on and lasts as best as possible. This is the Benefit Cosmetics. This is the Professional Matte Primer. We're just going to give that a little bit of a shake here. And then it's going to take literally just about that much right there. That will do your whole face. No matter what kind of skin type you have, this will be perfect. So we're going to work that between our fingertips. Any place that you experience separation in your foundation. Maybe you've got some fine lines, wrinkles. This will help to smooth that out. So I'm going to go here, kind of hit that little crow's feet area. I'm going to do that under eye. I'm going to do around my lips so that my lipstick will last better. There we go. Hit that T-zone because it's a mattifying primer that will help control the area in that spot. And now we're good to go with that. Today's look doesn't necessarily require an eye primer, so I'm not going to be using one today. I've been having some eye allergy things, but I put my drops on before we started, so let us hope that that helps out today. Okay, so It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I'm the shade 11 Light Nude. This is going to be our concealer for today. So we're just going to give ourselves a little ribbon of that. That will do anything and everything that you need on your face. So we're going to start out putting that anywhere that we have color that we don't want, whether that be redness, hyperpigmentation, maybe you've got, some kind of scarring happening like me. You got darkness in here, darkness under here. And I want to let my foundation be able to do its job most effectively. So I'm going to kind of minimize all that before I put the foundation on. And that will drastically help that out for sure. I am going to be using, I had it over here. Oh, it's an egg shape, so it rolled away. This is a dampened beauty blender, and we're going to use the pointy tip to work around that concealer that we just did. Now, this concealer works much better if you let it set on your face for a second to kind of warm up to your body temperature, and then it blends out beautifully. So while we were talking, that was doing its thing. Now we're just going to let that pointy tip there we go. That's just going to blend that out. We're getting rid of that redness. I'm actually using it. If you do it over your eyelid, it's behaving kind of like a primer for your eyeshadow. Not going to help you with any kind of glitter, but it will help your colors to stay truer. So if you just want to blend that out over onto your eyelid, that will help us out a little bit for today. I've got redness right here, redness on the top of my cheek. My nose is red for whatever reason. Maybe I'm akin to Rudolph. And so we're going to do that there. Now we're going to do the Lancome. Good morning. We're going to use the Lancome Tinty Doll this morning. Sometimes this doesn't play very nicely with the damp beauty blender. So we're just going to pray our very best today that it does its job nicely. So right there on that rounded end, we're going to just put a pump right there. And this will do, I kind of like a little bit of, I want good coverage. So for me, this will do like from the eyes down. We're just going to take that and tap it into place and then blend it out. So kind of a bouncing, blurring motion going right up into that concealer that you put there. Work around your nose. Get around your lips. Make sure you hit that Cupid's bow nice. And then we're going to blend it out under the chin there so that we don't end up with any like harsh lines. There we go. Now to do the forehead, we're just going to give it a partial pump, like maybe, I don't know, half a squeeze. Tap that out and work that right up into that hairline. We want to go not too far in there, but in there enough that you don't see a line where your makeup stops and your scalp starts. You know, it's like skin, hair. Anyways. Okay, so just get that up in there nice. Yes, it is true. I know my hair grows so fast and my color's already starting to grow off a little bit. I was thinking this weekend I'm going to have to just put a little color on there to tide me over. I have a big podcast conference coming up. I believe it's the second week of August. And so I want to make sure that I color it special right before I jump off on that. There's some speakers that, man, I would just love to meet. So I want to make sure as I'm rubbing shoulders with these other successful podcasters that, you know, I look my spot on best, you know, especially since it's a makeup podcast, and have some fun designing some shirts for that. So you'll see some pictures of that. And one of them kind of freaks me out a little bit, though, not going to lie. One of them is like a giant, my face on the front and my face on the back. Like the whole thing is my face. So a little weird seeing your own face on a shirt, but it'll be fun. So while you're there, you get to kind of promo for yourself as you're walking around. And there'll be people from all different kinds of podcast learning levels. So that'll be exciting. Okay, so that is our foundation. Now we need to set that so that it stays in place all day. We don't got to worry about it. So I'm going to grab the Laura Mercier. This is the, what's the name of this one? Translucent Loose Setting Powder Ultra Blur Tone Up in Rose. That's a lot of words. Nice setting powder. So I already have some in the reservoir up here. So I'm just going to give it a side-to-side tap. That will let it kind of settle down so that as I take that triangle and dip it in there, the powder is not up around the edge. So we're going to take this is Juvia's Place. This is the small triangle. We're going to take the pointy, just set it in there, tap it off. That's going to go around the eyes. I'm not going to put it actually on the eyelid, even though I use that concealer there. We're going to let the eyeshadows that we use set that. So we're just going to leave that. But I'm going to get there in the corner and then under the eye. This will help to minimize any of that pooling of your foundation that you might see sometimes. So now we're going to switch to the wide end. Same thing. Set it in. Tap it off. And we're just pressing that in, setting that foundation. Same thing, set it in, tap it off, do a cheek. There we go. Press it in, tap it off. Under the chin where we did the blend out of the foundation, we'll make sure you set that too. And now let's get that forehead. So press it in, tap it off. So y'all are a little bit quiet this morning. Give me a shout out. Tell me where you're coming from. How's your morning going? And how was your week? Prayerfully, you all did better with your verse and listening and memorizing than I did. Also, fail on my part. I don't think I sent out the graphics. I hope you enjoyed the shorts that I sent out, but while I was focusing on the shorts, I neglected to send out the graphic for the verse. So this week we're having a redo, and I'll send that graphic out so that you don't miss out on that. Because I know for me, those graphic images that I send out for your phone screen wallpaper, man, those are super helpful. I save those in a folder, Color Me James Verse Graphics, I think it's called. And those really, I can just open it up and flick through them and use them like flashcards for the scripture memorization. So super helps me. I hope it's helpful to you as well. And I just don't think it's kind of fair that on my part, I did not send out the graphic. But I hope you're enjoying those shorts I sent out. Okay, so let's do some contouring now that we've got our face all ready to go. I'm grabbing my KVD. This is the Shade Plus Light Refillable Contour Palette. And we're going to be on the lighter end of this right here. And then we're just going to tap into this right here for just a little bit on the outside corner. So I'm going to use the flat side of this It Cosmetics foundation brush. Flat side here. Just going to go in that palette. Tip it up. Go from the ear, round it out, go into about the corner of the eye. We want to stay above the hollow of the cheek so that we're lifting that cheek up. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to stay using this flat side here. Get it right here just a little bit. We're going to go right up into that hairline there. We're just going to work it in a little bit. Give it a little side to side, little circle action. Just giving a little bit of contour up there. Now we're going to switch to the skinny side of the brush. Get you a little bit on there. We're going to go from the ear, under that jawline, right to the corner of the mouth. This will give you the illusion that you have more of a cut jaw than you actually do, thereby minimizing extra chins that you may or may not have. All right, so same thing on the side, ear to corner of the mouth. All right, staying with that skinny side, right there. We're gonna go from the corner of the eye to the tip of the nose. And then right under that tip. Now I'm gonna tap that point. You see how it's got a point on it? I'm gonna tap that point in there. We're going to go right here to that outside corner and just flick it up, down. We're going to kind of fan it out from that corner just to give a little intensity right out here. So tap right here, up, and just kind of fan it out. All right. Then we're going to give ourselves a little bit of color here. So I'm going to grab a blush brush and my Juvia's Place Volume 4. And evidently, I'm going to need my tissue because I don't think my allergy drops work this morning. So we're just going to tap that off. My apologies to all of you who also have to deal with allergy eye. I know it is very frustrating. Okay, so Juvia's Place Volume 4. We're going to be in this lighter color here. We're going to have a lot of color happening. And we want to make sure that we're taking that focus and just drawing it into the eye. So we're going to be right here in this one. I'm just going to give that a couple of swirls. These are very pigmented, so you don't need to be too aggressive with it. We're going to go right on the top of that blush. This is the blush, the contour. Here we go. And we're leaving a space on the top for where we're going to put our highlighter here in just a second. Just a little tap there. There we go. Now that we've got that all blended out, we can go ahead and grab our highlighter brush and let's add a little highlighter where we just were. I'm going to grab the Benefit Cosmetics. This is the cookie. I'm actually going to set this aside because we're going to use this somewhere a little, what you call it, unconventional here in just a second. So Grabbing my Anastasia. This is going to be my highlighter brush. We're just getting in that cookie and giving it a swirl right on the top of that cheek, right beside the eye socket. And then down the center of the face, hitting that tip of that nose. Just blending it out a little bit. There we go. So, saving that cookie because we're going to use it here in just a second. You'll see, you'll see. So for today, our look is going to have a little bit of a muted, subdued, nude kind of look. So nude color, that's going to be relative to whatever the pigmentation in your skin is. So I hate how they use that term and then they kind of make everything the same color. If you have darker skin, your nude is going to be darker than mine. I have lighter skin. So whatever nude means for you and your skin tone, that's the kind of shade that you're going to be using right now. So let's go ahead and say our verse together, and then we will jump in with our lip liner and our lipstick. So that verse is scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. So let's give it just a second to get all the way around to the front. Okay, there we go. It is almost, sorry, that was just tapping on my desk. Okay, here we go. I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, sounds good. You take care of the faith department and I'll handle the works department. Not so fast. You can no more show me your works apart from your faith than I can show you my faith apart from my works. Sorry, I got ahead of it a little bit. Faith and works, works and faith go together and in glove, the name of the song there. James 2 verse 18. Okay, now let's grab our lip liner and our lipstick. I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the Luxe liner in Sweet Nothing. Just kind of a, I don't know, taupey, neutrally browny sort of color. So for you, it may be darker. A beautiful one for darker skin tones is going to be the, what's that called? I think it's Walnut from MAC. Beautiful color. Chestnut from MAC. So if you've got darker skin tone, try that. That is a beautiful color. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out in the Cupid's bow. And you're going to see yet kind of not see this color. So once you've got that, then we're going to round that out to the outside corners, making sure we're lining just outside of our natural lip line. And today you're not so much going to see the lip liner really. We're just putting it on to get a nice clean edge and then also give you a good space, color between the lines. So that is kind of the point of our lip liner today. You should not be able to see it at the end of this lip application. Okay, so in the bottom center, give yourself a little dot and then work that and round that out to the outside corner. Oh, we have a bot. Let me see. Add to block list. There we go. Thank you all for letting me know. Okay, so take a step back. Make sure you like the shape that you just created and that it's even on both sides. I think I'm actually going to go just a little bit wider on the top. Nice. Okay, so you can see it's not really, you can see the line, but not so much. It kind of just blends in with my skin tone, which is what you're looking to do, whatever your skin tone is. So for me, I'm going to grab the MAC. Let's see, this is the Maximal Matte Viva Planet. Got a little tiny bit of pink to it, but really it's just kind of a fleshy tan sort of color. All right, you might like Cream in My Coffee. Let's see, what's another good MAC shade? really cream in my coffee is so beautiful. It's a little dark for what I'm trying to do for myself for today, but if you have a darker skin tone, you should try that one. It's just beautiful, and it blends in really nice with that chestnut. So let's grab this Viva Planet, and we're going to fill in the lines that we created. There you go. So you can see, you can't really see where the lip liner is. It just kind of blends it out and gives us a nice neutral color. So I mentioned that we were going to come back to the cookie. So this is, I like this color, but it's kind of, it's a matte, but it's part of their new line where they've added moisture and hydration in there. And so it kind of has really taken away from the matteness. Mac, go back to the other formula. Okay, so Benefit Cosmetics cookie. We're going to take this right here. We're just going to use our middle finger. We're just going to get that in there. Get a little bit covered on there. Press that in. There you go. And now we have it kind of throttled back that color just a little bit, but you can see that beautiful shimmer. And it's also brought that lipstick back to a nice, pleasant, matte kind of texture. No stickiness. Love that. Love that. Okay, so now what are we going to be doing today with our eyes? So let me get over here. We're going to scroll down just a little bit. There we go. So again, we are going to be playing with the Juvia's palette. This is the Afro Galactic. So we are going to start out just a little bit in Solar right here. And then we're going to move over to Orbit. We're going to use a little bit of Stars. We're going to come into Horizon. And then at the very end, we're going to use a little bit of Alien. So we've got Solar, Orbit, Stars, Horizon, and Alien. If you are not playing with this palette and you're using something else, this is going to be 2 darks, a medium, and 2 lights. Okay, and so most all of the only one, Solar is the only one that's matte in here. The rest of these are shimmer, which is how we're going to get that, shimmer look. Okay, so I'm going to start out with an all over shadow. Hold on, let me get my little tissue in my lap ready. There we go. I'm going to start out with a fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M441. We're just going to go in that Solar, give it a couple of taps, and that's going to go right up here. We just need a little tiny bit of color, not too much. If you have more pigment in your skin than I do, then you can be a little more heavy-handed with it, but I just need a little something up here to blend into and to give a little bit of color. There we go. And now here starts our brushes list that we're gonna have. So let me dab my eyes one more time. We're going to go into Orbit. So for Orbit, I am going to use an angled brush. Hold on, let me bring the brushes a little bit closer. Let's do this one right here. This one is an older brush that I've had. It's a MAC. I don't know, but a nice angled brush will do you. So we're going to take that. We're going to go into Orbit. We're just going to get it on the face of the brush, just right here. So you can do that with it, and it's just right there on that face. And we're just going to go right here on that socket, right there on that socket bone, just from halfway to the outside corner. And then we're going to bring it in. Just kind of I guess it'd be a C shape. And then we're just going to soften that top edge just a little bit. So you can see that's what we got there. Let's go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. So again, just on the face of that brush, right on that socket bone, halfway, all the way to the outside. Then we're going to bring it in. And then fill it in just a little bit. And then we're going to soften that top edge right there ever so slightly. Okay. Go ahead and make sure. I can already feel that happening there. There we go. Okay, so let's grab a smudger. This one is a Morphe M321, and we're going to use that in stars. So you just want the tip, just get a little bit. And since I started here, I guess I'll start on this side. We're just going to go right on that outside edge. And this does not need to be a perfect blend at this point because you're going to come back with that blue brush here in just a second. So just kind of, you can see we've just outlined right here on the top and then come across that bottom a little bit. Same thing on the other side. Just going to give a little bit of intensity on this outside corner. Okay, so now the blue brush that we just used, I told you we're going to come back to it. Just get a little on the face of that. And we're just going to soften that edge where that black is coming into it. So right where the black and the blue are touching, you're just going to kind of touch that again. And that's going to blend those two together. So now you can see we've got a little darkness, intensity on the outside. We're blending in and bringing that blue forward just a little bit. Okay, any fallout that you have at this point, because we were just using a black. Let's go ahead and get that away. If your eye is watering, go ahead and dab that. There we go. Okay, we can set that brush down for just a minute. I'm going to grab a traditional shadow brush. This one is a MAC. I don't know. I can't even tell anymore. Just need a plain old brush. And now we're going to step into, I believe it is Horizon. Can I see stars? Horizon. Yes. So we're going to go into Horizon. Sorry, I wrote down the order. So I was just reading it. Okay, Horizon here. We're just going to go on one side of the brush with that. So just on that one side. We're going to go from about just a little way, maybe a quarter of an inch from the edge of the eye, and we're just going to fill in that gap that we made. Just that little space all the way up to that top there, right there. Just fill that in. There you go. Same thing on the other side. About right here. Fill that in. Going all the way up to the top there. Go. Now we're going to grab another all over shadow brush. Let me find one. Hopefully I have one here. Okay, maybe we'll use this one instead because I don't see one. This is a Morphe M124. Just to let you be a little more directional, nice and flat and skinny. So we are going to go into, what is our next one? Mother Earth. Oh, I don't think I said that one earlier. Mother Earth. It looks a little bit golden here. Once you get it on, it's not really. So we're just going to get that lightly on one side. And we're going to put that right here. And we're going to let that be what meets that darker color right there. So it's not all the way to the inside, but almost. And then it's going to be right there and meet that orbit and stars where we put that. And we're just going to blend that out a little bit. Okay, I'm actually just going to dust that off on the tissue. I'm going to use that same brush that we were doing, and I'm going to go into the alien right here. Alien, we're just going to get it on the tip of that, just a little bit, and only on one side. And that's going to finish out that inside there and go right to that Mother Earth. So alien is right here. We're just going to blend that up and into that Mother Earth. Nice. So you can see this is what we got so far. So let me see if there's anything. I'm going to go ahead and do a little of this. I need to do this. And now we need to blend out just a little bit on that top where we have been. So I'm going to grab another. This one is a Morphe. What do we got here? M433. Do I have a smaller one? Yes. Just kidding. We're going to grab a different Morphe. It's a little smaller. This one is the 456. Much better, much better. So we're going to grab that 456. And mostly what we have is that blue up there. So I'm going to hit down the middle. I'm going to grab that horizon. Just tap it a couple times. We're just going to use it right on that upper edge and just tap that out. Right where those colors meet. What was that one? Solar. We're just going to blend that out just a little bit. Let's do that one more time over here. Just going to soften that top edge a little bit. There we go. Now I want to see just a tidge more of that blue coming through there. So I'm going to grab the brush that we put that blue on with. Just go into the orbit. And I'm just going to set that down a little bit right there on the top. Just bring that blue out just a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. That's what we got now. We're going to complete that by working on the underside of the eye. So we're going to grab let's do a, we don't want too much smudge. That might be too much smudge. Let's do this one right here. This one is a Morphe Smudger in M213, nice and skinny. Gives us control. We can use the skinny side or the wider side. Beautiful. So we're going to go into the orbit. I'm actually just going to put it on the tip for right now. As you switch to the side, it kind of magically transitions from the side to the front. So you don't need to add it on you'll end up with too much shadow if you do it on there. So just put it on the very tip of that. We're going to go here on the outside. We're going to bring that about halfway. Also on the other side. I'm going to take that. I'm going to use that same brush and just tap it into stars and just get it right there on that outside corner. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit just around the edge. So outside corner and then up around the edge. Now, if you have another one of these, you can use another brush, or if you're doing like I'm doing, I'm just tapping it off. I'm going to go into horizon right here, just a little tiny bit. It's going to go right there in the middle. And then I'm going to use the same brush. I'm not even going to dust it off. I'm going to go into that alien a smidge and get that right in here with that. Okay. There we go. You can see we've got nice color on the under, nice color up on the top. Everything is blended out nice and smoothly. So let's go ahead and give a little intensity to the outside corners of that eye. You know what I do not have in here? I do not have my black eyeliner. That is so unfortunate. Okay, so here we go. You ever find yourself in a situation where you do not have your eyeliner? Here's what you do. Fortunately, I have a black shadow in my palette that I'm working on. So I'm going to take my Ready, Set, Sealed from Juvia's Place. I'm just going to put a spray on the back of my hand. I'm going to take a liner brush, get that in that spray just a little bit, and just tap it into that orbit. And we're going to use that for our liner right here. So I'm going to go from the outside corner about halfway. There you go. Tapping it on there. Tapping it into the orbit shadow. Same thing on the other side. Just a nice, clean black line. There we go. Do the same thing again. Tapping it into that spray. Tapping it onto the orbit. Let's get right under that eye. Same thing on the other side. Tapping it into that spray, which is about dry now. Tapping it into that orbit. Getting right into that lash line there. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to take our liquid liner and we're going to add a little liquid liner to this. That is more for the false lashes than it is for the eyelid itself. But let's grab that Too Faced Better Than Sex eyeliner. I'm only going to go about 3/4 of the way across this time and very, very skinny on the inside edge. So a little wider on the outside. And the way you get that is just press down a little harder with the brush. Then we're going to go super skinny on the inside. There we go. A little wider. Once this dries down, it is not going to go anywhere, even if you are experiencing allergy eye. So again, little skinny, very light pressure here. And then press down a little bit more to get wider on the outside over here. Okay. I'm just going to fan that down because I do have the watering the eye thing happening today. So, I know. I still haven't got one of those little fans. I know. I need to. Okay, so you can see what we've got going on here and then under the eye. So we're going to take our Laura Mercier and our little puff because we were working with such dark colors. Let's go ahead and minimize any fallout appearance that we might have. So just tap that inside corner a little bit. We're just going to go under the eye. Same thing on the other side. We're just going under that eye. Just brightening that eye area a little bit and then kind of calming out and smoothing out that line. And my eyes are still watering. Man, I was really hoping those eye drops were going to do their magic today, but clearly that did not happen. Okay, so whatever brow product you are going to be using today, we're going to do that now, and then we'll get to the mascara and the lashes. So for me, I am using the Maybelline Sky High Mascara in, what is this called? It was like light pink or something. The words are so tiny, I cannot possibly read them. Okay, so Sky High, it's a pink mascara. So let's go ahead and do your brow product. Things I love about using a mascara. With fashion colored hair, your brows cannot be, like normal people color, because that would be weird. So with using a mascara as a brow product, it is your color And it is also your brow setter. So wherever you put your brow hairs, that's where they're going to be for the rest of the day. And then I'm just going to follow the hair around to that tip there. Make sure I'm brushing everything in the direction I want it to be. And let's go ahead and do the other side. So pink, there we go. Getting that little bit of a brush up there. We're just going to brush that into the hairs there and then follow that tail around. The only thing bad about using the mascara is you do have to have the hairs in place for there to be something to, when you're using a pencil, you can do that on bare skin and it gives the illusion, like my brows kind of are too far this way. They need to be in a little bit. With the mascara, you can't really do that because there's not any hair there to cling to. So I can go outline it just a little tiny bit, but not crazy like you can with the pencil. So, okay. We're just going to keep following that around. There we go. And you'll feel as you're doing this, it starts to get a little bit firm and tacky, and that's when you can really manipulate it and get those brow hairs exactly where you want them to be. Okay. So there we are with that. Now we get to do our mascara and put our lashes on. Super excited. I just love this shimmer thing we got. This reminds me very much of how we would have done an eyeshadow back in the 80s era. So very fun, very fun. Okay, so let's grab our eyelash curler. And for me today, I'm using the Bad Gal Bang. This is a water resistant formula, but it does a great job. Even if your eyes are watering like crazy, from allergies or whatever you got going on in your life, this stays. So yesterday I had crazy eye watering. At the end of the day, I still had mascara on. So highly recommend. Great mascara for weddings if you do not like waterproof mascara. Although I would highly recommend a waterproof mascara for a wedding if you're a crier. Okay, so onto our lash curler here. We're going to use our verse and say our verse as we're curling it. So we're going to find that sweet spot on those lashes. Actually, I'm going to start with this one. The microphone's in the way. There we go. When you crimp down, you want to feel your lashes crimp between the plates, but you don't want to feel your eyelid pinch. So if your eyelid is pinching at all, release it, pull it forward just a little bit, try it again. So let's find that sweet spot there. We're going to curl it. We're going to say the verse, and it is actually, let's start it now. Here we go. I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, sounds good. You take care of the faith department and I'll handle the works department. Not so fast. You can no more show me your works apart from your faith than I can show you my faith apart from my works. Faith and works and faith go together, fit together, hand in glove. And that is James 2:18. Okay, so that was long. We're going to have a good curl today. Here we go. Get that other one ready. Find that sweet spot. There we go. I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, sounds good. You take care of the faith department. I'll handle the works department. Not so fast. You can no more show me your works apart from your faith than I can show you my faith apart from my works. Faith and works and faith fit together hand in glove. James 2 verse 18. Okay, we are very much curled today. Okay. So we're going to take that mascara. We're just going to do one coat because we're going to put false eyelashes on, but we want our lashes to blend in and to get as much volume as possible. So we're just going to give just a single coat. Remember, we're sweeping back on the tips. If you have black lashes already, you can probably skip this step. But if you were not blessed that way, then go ahead and do this. Also, it adds extra volume. So I just like it because, one of the reasons why you wear lashes is for length and volume. So this just helps you with that little part of that puzzle. Okay, we're making sure we're getting the inside lashes as well, and then use that tip to catch those outside ones. Now we're not going to have false lashes on the lower ones, so make sure that you do a regular coat on the bottom. So we're just going to I'm going to grab my magnifying mirror here so I can see the bottom, and we're just going to get a regular mascara coat. I hope you all are seeing me just fine, as one of my monitors just went out. I'm hoping it is a temporary situation. There we go. We're using that tip of that to really get to those outside corner ones. And now let's do the other side. Going all the way from the root to the tip there. And then we're going to use that outside tip to get the tip to get those outside corners. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can get that monitor to work maybe. Or not. Okay. So I'm going to do one more coat on those bottom lashes. There we go. Nice and full. One more time on the other one. There we go. And I really am going to need this monitor, so let me see if I can get it. You know, technology. It's so great when it does what it's supposed to do, and so not when it does not. Okay. We'll set. Oh, there goes. Look, good morning. Okay, it came back on. Yay! I'm going to be wearing the Kiss Masterpiece, which is what is it? Kiss Lash Couture Masterpiece, and this is the Avant-Garde. So I have already wore these before. If you have not wore your lashes before, you're going to trim from the outside edge, so the outside here. You will take your lash tool, which I did not grab. So today we're going to use tweezers. We're going to grab it from the outside edge and just pull it off that little tray. There you go. And set those in front of you. You'll do a dry fit, just kind of hold them in place and see if you need to trim them. Almost everybody needs to trim their lashes just a little bit. I'm not sure whose eyes these are made for. Some different lash companies, for whatever reason, their lashes are longer than others. Oh, I wish I had eyes big enough that I didn't have to trim any off. That would be a gift, but alas, I do not have that. But I do love my lips, so there's that. Okay. So I'm just making sure that the last time I wore these, everything is nice and clean. We've got a smooth edge, like you can see there's a little tag there, so just make sure you take that off. I'm setting that in front of me. These have the beautiful gift of being a flared lash. So you can see when you look at it, it's skinnier here and wider here. That is a flare. To me, those just give you a little more of a natural look. And so I really enjoy the flare lashes. And I'm just going over this lash as well. I am going to be using the Allure 18-hour lash glue today. I know these are Kiss lashes, but I like the Allure lash glue better. When I was at Ulta, the makeup artist really liked the Duo in the green tube. So if you are looking for a lash adhesive that you're going to love as well, you might try either one of those. Just kind of, if you have any eye-watering problems at all, steer clear of the ones that are black. Nearly all black lash adhesives, for whatever reason, have latex in them. So make sure that you are grabbing a latex free, which the 18-hour lash adhesive is. So I'm gonna give that a little bit of a shake just to get it going this morning. We'll uncap that. We're gonna get it right on the top of the band. Just a nice even coat. It's gonna go on white, but when it dries down, it will be clear. And we're going to do that same thing on the inside edge of the lash band. We just want to make sure that we are covering all of our surfaces so that it's going to have its best chance for staying put all day long. We're going to make sure we pay special attention to those outside edges of the lash as well. And then just set that down in front of you and do that whole same thing again with the lash on the other side. So we're going to go right here on the top of that. And then we're going to adhesive on the back of that. I usually set them down in front of me in the same way they're going on the eye. I don't know. It just helps me to keep it the same. What is going on here? Hang on. I think, holding problems. There we go. Okay. So making sure, again, that the outside corners, you can see I actually put like a little daub extra. It's just like insurance that they're gonna, stay where you want them to stay. So we're gonna leave those there for just a second while they dry down. You're gonna see that it loses its shininess just a little bit, and then it's gonna start to turn a little bit clear in a couple of spots, and then you'll know that it is about ready to go. You can also take the outside edges and just kind of roll it a little bit, and that will help soften that band. I've worn these enough times that I don't really need to do that with these, but it does help loosen up that band and help to make it a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to grab that lash right there in the middle. This one is the short on the inside, so that's going to go here. We're going to set that right on that lash line, right there. I'm going to put the inside edge down. And then we're going to do the outside edge. I think I tugged it a little too far that way. There we go. Just going to make sure my lashes are worked in with that lash. Let me go ahead and kind of smush them together. When you're used to a certain tool, it makes it a little bit difficult. There you go. There you go. You can see the one side versus the other side. Let's go ahead and grab the lash there. I'm having my eyes watering a little bit, so let me go ahead and do that first. There we go. Grabbing that lash right. Well, actually, first let's do the curl in. There we go. Grab that lash on the inside and then set that down. Right on that eyeliner line that you made. I'm going to walk the inside down onto that lash line and then the outside onto that liner line. There you go. And we want them to occupy the same space so they're just nice and blended. There you go. Always check that inside corner a couple of times. You are most likely to get lift on the inside and the outside corner. So always make sure you check those. Then I like to give them a little press, make sure everything is where it is supposed to be. Okay, nice. So you can see that shimmer we've got happening here on the lips. I'm just going to go ahead and take that Anastasia. I'm going to grab that cookie again. I'm just going to do another right here and right here. Maybe right there. There you go. Okay, now we do not want anything to move over the course of the day. I want it to stay exactly like this all day long. I don't want to touch my makeup. I don't want to have to touch it up. I like it to stay. So I'm going to grab that Ready, Set, Sealed, what we used for that eyeliner line a little bit ago. And I'm going to give it a little shake, and I'm going to just set that. There you go. Now your makeup is going to be good to go all day. You will not have to worry about it. Whether you cry or you get caught out in the rain, you are going to be in a beautiful position. So let's go ahead and say our verse together. And I really like that shimmer on the top of that Viva Planet lipstick. That looks really, really nice. Okay, so here we go. Let's say that verse together. I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, sounds good. You take care of the faith department and I'll handle the works department. Not so fast. You can no more show me your faith, your works apart from your faith than I can show you my faith apart from my works. Works and faith, faith and works go together, fit together. Why do I always say go? Fit together, hand in glove, and that's James 2, verse 18. So, it has been a delight hanging out with you here this morning. I am so glad that you're here with me. Whether you are viewing this now or, live with me, or you are viewing this later on, I'm so glad that you're here. So make sure to check out the website, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com, where you can look at the past verses, because we are in James 2, verse 18 now, which means we have taken a lot of journey through the book of James. So, and just a reminder that all of our products that we use today are going to be, again, that is not the right palette, but they're going to be in the a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com shop. And then we are going to be actually, this is the last slide. Well, let's just look at this one. There is a review. There should be a PDF file somewhere in there that is going to have all of the different weeks. So when you look at week 2, I think it starts, it'll have the 2 cards. And then week 3, the 3 cards. That will get you from the beginning of James all the way through today. Here, let me just flick back and forth, and I'll show you a couple of them if I can manage to do that. No, I cannot. Okay. It's a day. It's a day. Okay, so let's just say this verse together again before we head out. I can already hear one of you agreeing by saying, sounds good. You take care of the faith department and I'll handle the works department. Not so fast. You can no more show me your works apart from your faith than I can show you my faith apart from my works. Faith and works, works and faith. Fit together, hand in glove. Yay, I got it right. Fit together, hand in glove. And again, all these are coming from Color Me James, available paperback, ebook, which is a PDF, and then also spiral bound. So it has been a joy to hang out with you. You can get actually the ebook, the PDF copy of that free with the Cherished Queen membership level. We're at the Beauty and Grace Insider, which lives on YouTube. So be sure to check that out. And let me say a blessing over you today before we go. All right. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, I am so thankful for each one of these women that have come and hung out with me here live, that have endured the technology difficulties with me this morning. Father, I just pray that you would help us to all have a fantastic week this week, that we would all continue to work on memorizing the book of James, that we would succeed in verse 18, Father, that we would take these words, that we would hide them in our heart, that they would come to our mind. The Holy Spirit would bring them to mind as we need them throughout the course of our day, for ourselves and then also for those around us. Father, I just thank you so much for this time together, getting to celebrate being women of faith, women of Jesus. Father, I thank you for each one of these sisters in Christ, and I pray a blessing on them this week. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Well, again, it has been a delight to hang out with you. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week and on social media. And I hope that you are blessed and that you enjoy. I believe today is a crossword. This week is a crossword puzzle. No, this week was word search. That's right. So if you haven't already done the coloring page in the word search from Color Me James, enjoy, because I just love word search puzzles. So y'all have a great day. Have a great week. Mwah! I love you.